Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. My name is Jared Lee, and I'm joined, as usual, by my lovely wife, Jamie Lee. So, Jamie, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Jared. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Great.
Doing very good.
Glad to hear it.
Yes, I hope everybody had a great Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Then enjoyed it.
Yeah, we did.
We did. We didn't. We went to Orlando for part of it, and then on Memorial Day itself, we just kind of hung out at the pool, and I smoked some. I did some pulled pork. It was nice.
It was so good.
It turned out really well.
It was so good. You guys, this guy, he knows what he's doing now. He knows what he's doing.
I figured some things out. A little tip, if you're going to do pulled pork, a little cherry Coke. Put it in there. Add a little bit of flavor to it.
Okay.
And also just low and slow. But yeah, so we went to Orlando on Saturday night, which is rare for us because typically we do like Thursday or Fridays till usually we're coming back on Saturday. So the whole weekend, I kept thinking like Saturday was Friday.
Yeah.
Like the whole weekend, I didn't know what day it was half the time. But
yeah.
So we went down and we checked out the new DreamWorks land over Universal, which we'll talk about in the Universal show. Mm-hmm. And part of that, we were going to go do Volcano Bay. And then we're like, well, let's go check out the new drone show that over at Disney Springs.
Dreams that soar.
Dreams that soar. So we got down on Saturday morning, did DreamWorks Land. It was very hot. Mm-hmm. And it didn't take us as long as we thought it might. And instead of staying the night, which is the original plan, we're like, well, why don't we just do Volcano Bay and then go home and then maybe check the drone show, before we leave and then go home. I'm like, okay.
Right.
So we were going to do that. And then we saw the crowds of what they looked like the night before. And I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but it was insane. Like in terms of the amount of people at Disney Springs, which one might imagine for a new free show. And we had the kids, so we're like, how about we just wait? Like, we'll be back in a couple weeks because I just don't want to mess with that. I mean, I saw videos of people with strollers having to pick up the strollers, put them over their head to get through the crowd. It was that crowded. Like, Disney Springs just isn't built for that type of crowds.
Well, and then also, talking about being a free event, so it's not just Disney people with park tickets. It's not in the park.
It's anybody.
So it's anybody. And there's only one side of the park right there on the west side that you can see have the best view. So everybody was kind of scrunched onto that side on the west side. And so I understand the difficulties with crowd control and the fact that Disney Springs has really never done something of that magnitude before where all the crowds came. And I don't think they were expecting that many people, but being the weekend, being it busy, Jared's right. I mean, it would have been pandemonium. And if it had just been you and I, maybe we would have tried it.
Maybe.
But with the kids and the stroller, and we wouldn't have gotten out there until really, really late. I was like, we're gonna pass. I mean, we still have a 7 and 4 year old, so it's like, we could do it at a later time, and we will. So
yeah, and it's not like they would care that much about it. And I was hearing people saying,
I think they would like it.
Well, I think they would like it, but in terms of, I was hearing people saying when they got to the parking garage, they didn't actually get out of the parking garage for another hour and a half.
Yeah, it's insane.
And so it's like, we already had a 2-hour drive home. So we're like, let's just not mess with it right now. And from what I've seen, I've seen some video of it. It looks nice.
It does look nice.
But if you're asking me, is it worth messing with that entire hassle potentially? I don't think it's worth that, personally speaking.
9 or 10 minutes worth of show, that you have to kind of gauge. But it's going to be going on all summer, and the crowds will get lower. They're not going to be crazy.
Right. Well, that's why I don't understand why Disney, you're saying they didn't anticipate the crowds. They're doing a brand new show over a holiday weekend.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes Disney does this where you're just like, how do you not anticipate this? You've done
They
this
do
before,
that on purpose. They want that. They want the appearance of it being like, oh my gosh, it's so busy. And
that's true.
It was busy. So there was no appearance needed.
I think that's part of it. I think they do. Yeah. I think they like that social media where you have that. But
absolutely.
We will review it sometime soon.
We're going in the middle of June. So we're going down for Tiana's Bio Adventure AP previews. And it's on a Thursday that we're going down. So I feel like a Thursday, middle of the week, is a good time to do it.
Should be. We'll see. But yeah, that's the plan now.
That's the plan. Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, we had a nice weekend. And again, we'll talk about DreamWorks Land on the Universal show. We'll talk all about that if you're curious about that.
Yeah.
And but on today's show, we do have some news. Not a lot of news. It's kind of that summer lull when it comes to news. It's in before, between you got Tiana's opening and then we got D23 later this summer. So I don't really think Disney's going to have too much big news dropping between here and then.
Not too much big. There's a few little stories here and there, but nothing big.
Yeah. And then we're going to continue our tier list series. and we're gonna do a tier list of the Disney hotels.
Deluxe, DVC, moderate, value, all of them. We're gonna get them all in there.
Yeah, I mean it'd be too short if you just did values. You'd have like 4.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
Yeah, so it's like it's not
4
a
or
whole
5
lot.
for moderate. Yeah. So
So
we're gonna do them all together.
Well, before we get to the news, just want to remind everybody, if you're watching us over on YouTube at CTM Podcast, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Helps us continue to grow over there. And if you're listening to us on good old trusty just audio podcast, we greatly appreciate that. Just ask that you subscribe and leave us a review if you would not mind, as it helps us in all the algorithms everywhere, I suppose. That's what you're supposed to do. So, yes, that would help us a lot. And if you want even more content, you can check out Club 32, which is our private group where we have additional content like Cool Kids Kitchen, which is a monthly live stream where we make a dish. We have the Club 32 show, which is every Tuesday, which now is kind of also a trivia night. So we've been doing that on Tuesday nights. It's always a lot of fun there. We have the Clubhouse that's starting up. We're going to start it up in June. That's going to be the starting month of the Clubhouse show, where we're going to have some Club 32 members become part of the show. So that is what we're going to do there. There's live streams, there's music loops, there's 20% off of CTM apparel and 1901 Candle Company products. And for a limited time, for like another month, Club 32 members are getting 25% off on CTM apparel and 1901 Candle Company products.
That's a good deal.
It's not a bad deal. And we got some new shirts dropping as well. So we got the Expedition Everest and some other ones on the way. So if you want to be part of that, plus a Facebook group and everything like that, you can go to ctmvip.com. We have monthly or yearly options, and we have a free trial if you want to try that out. And when we go check out like Tiana's, we'll live stream some stuff from there and get our firsthand perspective. So again, ctmvip.com is where you go if you'd like to join. If you want to join, we'd love to have you. So, all right, well, let's get to the news. So the first story we have is it is official, as there is no festival summer at Epcot.
Yep.
Nothing going on right now.
There is nothing there. We have 90 plus days left of no festival. But a few places are staying open that are usually part of the festivals now. Tangerine Cafe, Refreshment Port, Refreshment Outpost, although they are usually open during the year anyway. Swirling Showcase and the Refreshment Station all are staying open. So they will not be closed. They'll have their normal stuff they usually have. No festival offerings, obviously, but they will be there.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's been a very long time since there's been that long of a gap where there hasn't been a festival. So.
Well, Communicore Hall, Communicore Plaza, they're opening on June 10th, as well as the Mickey and Friends new meet and greet, which we did get a little glimpse of what it's going to look like. I think it was just like a TikTok or a reel that they posted, just to showing the backdrop of like where you'd stand with the characters and stuff. And it's cute. It's cute. Yeah, so I mean, that'll be exciting when it opens in a couple of weeks. So.
Yeah, I'm very curious about the crowds, about how Epcot looks. I feel like a lot of people, like obviously you still have Cosmic Rewind, which is a draw.
Right.
And you still have things in there. But I kind of feel like a lot of people are just going to go ride Cosmic. And now that you don't have the park hopping restrictions.
I know.
You know, people may just go ride Cosmic. I don't know. I mean, I guess Frozen Ever After. Those are the two. You got Ratatouille. You just have some rides in there people want to ride.
The Celebration Encanto show. And then.
Well, and that's the question. Do you think that the new Communicore Hall, is that enough to really pull people in? Because I feel like that's not going to be an all-day thing. I think that's going to be real quick. You go check it out. Oh, that's kind of cool. And then, you know, you go do other things.
It doesn't look big enough or have enough in it yet, at least yet, that we can see that would constitute it being like a 2-hour endeavor. I think it's just a stop by and see the Encanto show, maybe do the festival favorites booth thing that they're doing in there, meet the characters. It doesn't seem like it'd be much. But it looks cool though. It looks cool.
I mean, it almost turns Epcot into a half-day park to where people aren't going to spend all day at Epcot for just, I mean, if you don't, I mean, let's be honest, the real big draw still to Epcot is the World Showcase. And when they have festivals, because people like to go around, check out the festivals, get drinks, eat, all that stuff.
But here, okay, but I'm on the offensive, or is that what you say in debate, on the offensive?
You mean on the, well, I don't think it's the offensive.
Or what do you say?
That would be devil's advocate that we're talking about?
Yeah, be like on the other side of things. Okay, we'll say that. So no festival, just, the countries as they are. I actually really want to experience that only because I don't remember the last time I was in Epcot without a festival.
Oh, I agree to the extent.
I'd like to go do that.
Yeah, personally, yes. I'm just talking in general as a whole. Like crowds. You know what I mean? I think you potentially have this now where, I mean, let's look, Animal Kingdom the rumor is they're getting new stuff and there's going to be construction over there. But Animal Kingdom, I've also made the argument, it's a half-day park. So basically, you're left with Hollywood Studios and Magic Kingdom as your full-day parks. Like, how does that impact those parks more? I feel like a lot of people are going to go check out Epcot, hop over to one of those two parks, or vice versa. Like, I feel like it's just going to make the other parks more crowded, which gets into the argument people talk about Disney needing a fifth gate. I've been saying for a while, I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying they could flush out their existing parks more to handle more crowds. But I will be curious to see how it does impact, and if they're I can see a scenario where you just go through World Showcase and it's almost just like a deserted town back there.
So and also like being in the summer and it is hotter.
Oh, it's so hot in World Showcase.
I can see it definitely just not being as popular as it usually is. Yeah. It's also a great time though, if you are coming this summer and you're like, there's no festivals, just doing the rides and some of the food and stuff. It's a great opportunity to really go into those countries and really experience them when you wouldn't have otherwise. So like you go into the shops more and look into the history a little bit more, or the culture a little bit more of the countries you're visiting. I think that's a really good opportunity, especially when those places have air conditioning.
Well, yes.
Just go inside.
And I do agree. I think a festival in the summer is not necessarily what people want.
Yeah.
Because it's so hot.
Yeah.
But I do feel like you could do some sort of summer, like I've said before, like do a summer beer fest or something where it's like refreshing things. Like we'll see what they do. But so.
I want to go to UK I want to go to Yorkshire and get some fish and chips because I never do that because I'm always doing festival food.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? Again, I really want to do this.
A lot of times there is that where people feel that, do the festival foods and not try the other staples. I mean, there's obviously still stuff to do a World Showcase. It's just usually the festival is the main driver. So we'll see what happens.
We actually have a friend there right now at Epcot, and she said she's in Italy, or she was in Italy, and she said that she was really bored, or the photographers were really bored, so they did a whole photo shoot with her. And I'm like, okay, if they're bored, means that there may not be as many people there today as usual. So that right there makes you
I guess the real test would be the weekends.
Weekends are always busier though.
They are, always. But Epcot is definitely where the locals go for like date nights, Friday nights, Saturday nights, stuff like that. But if there's no festival, do people still go back there and check it out? That'll be kind of
We also had another Club 32 member who was at Magic Kingdom on Sunday. I think he was there Sunday. And he took a picture of it was like 2:00 in the afternoon in the hub. It was like nobody there.
Yeah,
I
saw that too.
Crazy. So I think either everybody's at the pool, they're at the water parks. It's just, especially when it's 95 degrees outside, it's hard to.
Well, it's like midday. I've always said this. Like, I do not want to be in a theme park in the summer at like 2:00.
No.
Like our goal, what we've always done is we go in the mornings, take a break in the afternoon, maybe go back in the evenings.
Yeah.
More people may be doing that, but Iger and them did say themselves that the summer was looking lower than compared to, so they're looking at that.
So take advantage, guys.
Well, that's what I talked about last week. I'm like, it probably is going to be lower crowds, so we'll have to see how it continues to look. But used to, that's when always people traveled. I think more people now are more spread out throughout the year. Like people have those flexibility.
Yeah.
And they tend to go in off times. And, like our favorite time of year is like January through like March. It's
the weather's pretty nice.
Typically the weather is perfect and it's not too hot. But
if you do come this summer, if you do come to Epcot, even though there's not a festival, you do come this summer, it's a really good opportunity to use your afternoons wisely when it's the hottest. You get there, get the parks early, like rope drop early, do like a couple hours, and then get out of the heat. Go back to the hotel, get in the AC for a couple hours, and then use the nighttime again for the parks.
Mm-hmm.
That is the best way to do it. And especially with the parks being open later in the summer too, you can really take advantage of those summer nights. Oh well. Sorry.
I have no idea what you're saying.
It was Grease.
Oh,
sorry.
Gotcha. Well, there you go.
Sorry about that. Yeah. Anyway, so I didn't want to go on a tangent on heat and Epcot and festivals and stuff, but it's just weird. It's just weird to have that now.
It's been a while.
For a long period of time, too.
Yeah.
So it's been like 6 years. So
it has been a while. Yeah. The only thing I will say with the heat, I say, which we won't do a whole show on because there's not much, but drink water. But
Please.
I call it, one of my buddies said it's like preload your water.
Preload
So I always
your
tell
water.
people drink a bunch of it in the morning when you wake up, because a lot of people forget throughout the day. And
I'm terrible at that.
Yeah, last thing you want to do is be, let's say you're walking around World Showcase at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and it's 96 degrees, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm dizzy. So stuff like that. But
yes.
Yeah, so there we go on that. All right, the next store we have is the Swan and Dolphin Food and Wine Classic is returning again this year, and the dates now are November 15th and 16th.
So yeah, they are. They're technically okay. So it's kind of weird this year. November is longer month because Thanksgiving is November 28th. I believe it's like the latest it ever could be.
Yeah.
So November it's going to feel really, really long because Thanksgiving is so late. Usually the Food and Wine Classic is the week before. So it's like, this is like the third weekend of November, which is fine. It's also the 15th anniversary, and they are adding an extra hour every night that they're having the event this year, which is kind of cool. But if you're not familiar with this it's basically, it's kind of like Food and Wine Festival at Epcot, but it's different. So like the event takes place in between the Swan and Dolphin. It's outside. They have food and drinks you can sample from the 23 restaurants and lounges and et cetera, that they own or that they have in the hotels.
Not necessarily. I did this a couple of years ago. So they have restaurants. Some of them are ones that are, part of Swan and Dolphin. Some of them are like, they had St. Augustine Distillery. Like there's restaurants around town or breweries and wineries and things like that. So they got booths set up, but you paid entry. So the entry fee for this, tickets are $195 for one night, $354 for both nights.
This year, yeah.
So it's pricey, but once you pay that, you can eat and drink all you want.
Exactly.
And there's a ton of different food. So
you don't pay, per booth like they do at Food and Wine Festival.
It's an enjoyable event. I think having an extra hour is good because you have a hard time being able to do all that in the allotted time that you get.
Yeah.
Is it worth it? Depends on your perspective. I mean, the food is good, but $195, it's a lot of money. Especially if you do both nights, it's a lot of money, but you do get to try a lot of different things, and like there's some like Shula Steakhouses there. Ooh. Doing stuff.
I mean, you'd be constantly eating and drinking if you were there just to get your money's worth.
Well, I was, and the only reason, my only regret about that night was that was the one where your mom's flight got delayed.
I know.
I only got to do a quarter of the event because I had to take the kids because you were doing the Halloween party.
Yeah.
And so I kind of got to
Christmas party, but yeah.
Christmas. Yeah. I got to experience it on my own for about an hour and a half, and then I had the kids, which, not that you can take kids to this, but you can't eat as much when you do it. But it's, whether or not it's worth it, it just comes down to perspective. But it is a cool event, and it's very unique. Yeah. It's similar. I mean, the Food and Wine Festival sounds, the same as Epcot's. It's different in that way. I'd say the food is definitely higher end versus what you get at
and
Epcot.
I feel like if you are going to do this, like you would feel like it's worth it more if you were going to be having any alcoholic beverages,
lots of wine, because
if that's your thing, then I think you're really gonna feel like it's worth it.
At least the year I did it, lots of wine. So if you're, there is food, but there definitely was less food compared to drinks you could do. So that is on there if you want to go do that. All right, next news story we have is Talking Doug has debuted over at Animal Kingdom.
So this is Doug from Up, the movie. He roams around Discovery Island and he will talk to guests using his little collar like he used in the movie. There is no set times that he is out right now, but if you hang out around like Flame Cherry Barbecue area, like right in front of there, that's where he comes out of the backstage area. And it's like really cool, like the stuff he says, and like it's like the Talking Mickey before, but it's his Talking Doug. But he's not meeting anymore with Russell. Russell's still at the Wilderness Explorers area, like that area that they're over there. He's not over there anymore, but Russell still is. So if you're interested in that, hang around Discovery Island and you might see Doug.
Yes. If you want to check him out, he is there.
Yeah.
And all right, last story we have is an Inside Out 2 preview is now playing over at Walt Disney Presents in Hollywood Studios, which they do this a lot of times for new movies coming out. But
Yeah. And the one thing I do want to mention is that, well, Moana 2, the new trailer came out today. So that's exciting. And then well, and then that YouTube series we called Imagineering is having another episode. It's supposed to come out sometime today. I don't think I've seen it yet, but it's the second episode, and it's going to have talking about like all about music and stuff, and it has a lot of like a sneak peek of Tiana's Bio Adventure. So we'll get a little bit more of an inside look of what that is. There were some clips in the trailer, and you can kind of see what it looks like in the inside ride, and yeah, it looks interesting. I'm excited to check that out. But yeah.
I've seen some of those. Obviously, I'm gonna wait until we experience it for have final thoughts. Some of the pictures I saw, interesting choices. I'll put it that way.
Well, yeah. We haven't seen the inside of it, and it's best to reserve judgment until we've actually done the ride. So I don't know. I'm anxious to see this.
I don't know if you know how the internet works, but I think the best bet is to take a very strong opinion right off the bat.
That is the internet.
I mean, it really is.
That is the internet.
For the purposes of this show, we'll just say, obviously I'm not going to come out and say one way or the other how I feel. I'm just going to say, yeah, okay. I'll wait until I experience it. But some of them, if you would have told me, I would have thought it was the inverse. Like the picture was like, oh, that's what they changed it to. Like, oh no, that's what it was. But some of them. But again, it's like one shot, so we'll see. But it
takes a lot to impress Jared. Let me tell you.
Some of us have standards. Okay, some of it's really hard. All right.
It's true though. It does take a lot to impress.
I feel like
it really does.
Here's the thing: if you like everything, or if everything's great, nothing's great. So like, I also, to be fair, I don't just trash stuff. If I don't really like something, I will point out things, and I'll even say, I like this, but I didn't like this, but blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So I don't also typically come out and just be like, everything's terrible. I think I'm fair. I think I might be a harsh judge I'm like Gordon Ramsay. I'm not going to just like everything that the chefs make maybe, but I'm not going to be mean about it. Like
I think it's your bluntness. You're blunt. You don't dance around things. You're just like, this is what I think.
Well, what am I also supposed to do?
No. It's just how you are, and I respect you.
Well, listen,
I respect your opinions.
Please don't touch
doesn't stop. It doesn't mean
this is a professional show. Okay, we don't need to bring this into the show here. Okay,
I am touching your shoulder, and that is all.
People listening may not know that.
I'm just touching your shoulder. No, I respect your opinions, and sometimes your delivery of your opinions can be quite blunt or just, matter of fact. And that's how you are.
I feel like I hold back a lot, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, I'll put it this way. It's one of those things. I'm not always right, but I'm never going to lie to you. So I'm going to give you my opinion.
That's fair.
And obviously, a lot of these things are just opinion-based. People can disagree with me. That's fine. Like I've always said all along, if I hate something that somebody loves, don't let my critique of it ruin your enjoyment of it. Just don't. Like, I'm going to give you my honest thoughts, but like, I'm also not going to like badmouth people who enjoy something. Like, there's movies that I like that are not good movies. I said for the longest time, Superman Returns was a good movie because I wanted to really like it. I say now it is not, but for a long time I was like, it's a good movie, and my brother still mocks me to this day for advocating for that movie. But
that's the Brandon Routh one.
Yes, that was the one that I really wanted to be good, and it just wasn't that good. But but no, one thing I am curious about, I'm given the latest movies that have come out and not done well, I am very curious, and I imagine Disney is very nervous about Inside Out 2.
Okay, so we actually talked about this a couple days ago, but like, it's the projections show that it's supposed to do okay.
Yeah, okay. The projections as of now show $80 to $115 million, which is that's
a big range.
That's quite a range.
It's quite a range.
Now, this comes out June 14th through 16th. So a lot of times, obviously, we're only talking about this because this is literally all the news we have. So there's not much else news to talk about.
Yeah.
A lot of times, if you watch box office stuff, they will knock down projections as it gets closer to the release date. They may not do this, but obviously we'll see what it does. But given the latest trends of Disney movies, A, and B, if you look at the releases this year, none of them have really done well. I mean, Dune did pretty well, but outside of Dune, most of it has been pretty, like over the weekend, you had Furiosa, you had Fall Guy, and then there
That
was
like a
couple weeks ago. But then there was also the Planet of the Apes movie. None of those have done well, like at all.
Here's what's bad. I had no idea any of those movies were coming out.
Yeah.
So I don't know if what that says about that. Just that, I mean, I enjoy movies.
Yeah.
But I don't. I feel like a lot of people are now just like, you know what? I'll just wait till it's on demand.
I think
I'll wait till it comes to.
You know, I say that, but it's
Netflix?
like I do think Deadpool Wolverine will make a lot of money.
Yes,
I think what happens is
money.
People, they know the stuff they're going to go see, they anticipate it for, and they'll go see it. I think what people have gotten out of the habit of is they don't go to the movie theater now and just go, no, let's just go and see what's playing and go watch it. I don't think people do that anymore. There's a multitude of reasons as to why. So I don't know. I'll be curious because
I have a couple of reasons.
Well, I think one of them is streaming. I think people just you can just watch that, but I think a lot of it is like movies haven't been great.
I think that maybe you factor, but I think the biggest factor is that it is expensive.
Well,
to go to the
I was going to
movies
say
now.
the other one, it's very expensive.
Like if you take like a family of 4 to the movies, if you do the tickets and you get the recliner seats and you assign ticket, all that stuff, IMAX even, you get snacks, drinks, popcorn, whatever. I mean, you are looking at like $100.
Yeah.
Like easy.
And if you go to like Alamo where you actually get food, I mean, you're even talking
even
more.
that too. So I mean, like it's just big costs that add up. So I think that is a huge factor in people not going to the movies as much.
For sure.
Especially in this economy.
For sure.
But that coupled with, movies that maybe they're just not interested in seeing or movies that are coming to streaming very soon. Like that's a lot of factors going like, I'm just going to wait.
Well, Fall Guy it was on stream or where you could rent it VOD like 2 weeks after it was in theaters. Like the timeline becoming
then why put it like
well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's all changing so much. But I mean, personally speaking for us, our kids are really excited for like Despicable Me 4.
Yeah.
Now, just speaking as a parent of younger kids, we're not going to take our kids Inside Out 2 because I don't really feel like, I know anxiety is this new thing. The topic matter to me is not something that I really want our children to, at the ages they're at. I don't think it's for them.
Yeah.
So, and I think part of this too is who is this movie going to appeal to? I feel like older kids for sure, but for us, at least for us, like I just don't think that's something that we're going to take our kids to. And they don't really have any interest in it. They haven't said anything about it.
Not a thing.
So but again, that's just us. But I will be curious as to how it does.
We'll go see. I mean, I'm sure we'll see Moana too. I mean, they love Moana, so I mean, I think that's a given. But that doesn't come out till November.
If I were to predict, I would think Moana would do better than this.
Than Inside Out.
But I think the one from Disney, I think Wolverine and Deadpool will do the best.
Well, Moana was still like the #1 streamed movie on Disney Plus for a while.
Yeah,
which is so crazy because it came out like 8 years ago.
Right.
Anyway, sorry to get on a tangent about movies, but
that was movie talk.
Movie talk with Jamie and Jared.
Yeah, but all right. Well, that's all the news that we have. But Jamie does have a poll time. Do you want the new poll time music or with the old poll time music?
I don't. Let's do the new poll time music.
Jamie does have a poll time.
It's poll time. Tell us what you think. Every opinion counts. Come on and link. We're discussing it all. We're taking a stance. Poll time's the segment. Let's give it a chance.
Poll time. All right.
Those that are new, I may have found an AI toy to play with.
You did. All right. So as I do each week, I have a poll time question. And my poll time question this week is, what are you most looking forward to coming to Walt Disney World in the last half of 2024? I gave a bunch of options here, so they're kind of spread out. And I let people vote for as many as they wanted. So 47% of the vote went to Tiana's Bayou Adventure opening. 17% said the announcements that will be made during D23 Expo in August, which I thought was interesting. We're excited for what's coming in 2025. Anyway, 10% said the Halloween season, like the Halloween party and such. And then 5% each said Communicore Hall and Plaza, the reimagining of Voyage of the Little Mermaid into The Little Mermaid, a musical adventure. And then Christmas season got 7% and then 1% for the rest, like, the Food Mine Festival, Country Bear Jamboree. Hey, Country Bear Jamboree got 2%, Jared.
Good for them.
and yeah, so that's most of them are excited for Tiana's. So I think once that's open and people have done it, I think there's going to be more of like okay, what's next? what are we looking forward to next? You know what I mean? And then it'll be August, and hopefully we'll get some announcements.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm not surprised to see Tiana being on there, but
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, they probably will have a lot of announcements, you would assume, at D23.
better.
The rumors have
Better.
been out there for a while. You know, I did see there was some permit got approved to go further for like what's rumored to be the Dino Land, area over Animal
Yes.
Kingdom.
Yes.
So that's more than likely going to happen just because of permits being filed and all that stuff we can see.
you
But
can already see that.
right. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
So what are you most looking forward to out of the list that you see in front of you? I know you're not a super big fan of Princess and the Frog to begin with, and I
Well,
don't think you've ever seen it.
I've never seen the movie.
So I know your excitement of this is like, medium.
I'm curious to see what it's like versus what was there, obviously.
Yeah.
So in terms of that. In terms of like personally, I really do enjoy the fall and winter at Disney. So I'd say probably getting more toward like once you get into Food and Wine Festival where it'll be like September, November. That's September, October. That's kind of like I like that time of year in general. Like I think as I've gotten older, fall has become my favorite time of year. So I think things like Food and Wine, and then you got the the Halloween time and Christmas time, stuff like that. So I'd say, that's what I would say for me.
Well, I like to divide my year into thirds instead of like fourths of like the season. And mine is January to like May, and then summer, and then September to like December.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I separate the year into my brain.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I had to separate, or had to pick one of those thirds of the year that I like the best, it would be September to the end of the year. Halloween and Christmas season is it's just the best. Just the best.
I mean, I think
So much going on.
Yeah.
So many, so many fun things happening. And so I am also excited for Tiana's to open and for the other rides to reopen, like Little Mermaid and Country Bear, not so much, but oh well. And I guess, Rock and Roller Coaster's opening.
Wait, are you talking about
July
Little Mermaid? Are you talking
27th.
about the show?
Yeah.
Little Mermaid show. Oh,
Yeah.
you said ride. I was confused for a moment. But
Sorry, it's the show.
Okay.
I apologize.
Yeah.
But Rock and Roller Coaster is reopening July 27th, and it's been closed for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It will not be a new artist. It'll still be Aerosmith. People are like, who's it going to be? I'm like, it's going to be the same. They're not changing anything. I guarantee it.
Missed opportunity. Oh, I have no doubt it's still the Aerosmith. I just missed opportunity,
Yeah.
personally speaking. But yeah.
But anyway, so thank you everybody for participating in the poll this week. I will have a new poll next week.
Yes, and if you want to be part of the next poll time, you can do that in two ways. You can go join the Capture the Magic Facebook community over on Facebook, as you might guess, which is a good place. If you got questions and just want to interact with people over there, it's a fun place. We interact there and everything like that. You can also follow us over on Instagram at Captain Magic, and Jamie posts the poll questions in the stories over there.
I do.
And you can also find show clips and memes, and we post about shirts and stuff like that as well. So check it out over there. So, all right. Well, let's get to our discussion portion, which is our Disney resorts / hotels tier list.
Okay.
Now we've done all the parks with the rides and everything like that, so now we're going to do the hotels. So if you're unfamiliar with how a tier list works, they are broken down a little bit more. Instead of just being like a top 10 or whatever it is, we break them down. There's 6 categories. So the S tier is the top tier, and that stands for superb. Then you have the A tier, which is normally it's like a ride every time, but we would say, would stay every time.
Stay every
Yeah.
time. Mm-hmm.
B would be mid. C is skippable. D, someone will like it. And then F is just no, we personally don't
Just
care for
don't
this
like
at all.
this.
Don't ever want
Right.
to stay here. Things like that. So
Right.
that is how we will break this down. So
And again, to preface this, we are just giving our opinions. So if you do not agree with this opinion, let us know if you're watching on YouTube in the comments, or tell us on one of the social media channels what you would choose for your superb A, B, C, D, E, and F.
yes, and if you don't like it and you're mad about it, deal with it.
Oh my.
That's what I would say. But yeah, obviously this is very
That's what Jared would say.
very opinion based. Obviously, if you have points, they're great to have. But if you're legitimately angry about our point of view, which we did, we did one on Universal. One of the things at Universal, and some of the people were legitimately angry, and I'm just like,
Which one were they angry about? I don't remember.
I think it's where we put ET, and I was like, first
that's
off,
right.
calm down.
It's
Like, these are
supposed to be
rides.
fun.
Go go eat a sandwich and chill. Like I feel like you need to chill out. So yes, obviously these are our opinions, and you know, I value my opinion. I guess I don't know.
I don't
know.
as you should.
I don't know. All right.
As you should.
All right. Let's go. The first one. Let's do. What do you do? Oh,
I'm gonna mix them up here a little bit. Let's do. Okay, let's start with Caribbean Beach.
Caribbean Beach. This is a moderate.
And it is has the Skyliner station.
Yeah.
You know, it's
not my
spread out.
favorite. The Disney moderate. See, I have this. The Disney moderates and values. I don't enjoy exterior hotel rooms. So there's that.
like hallways.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. Caribbean Beach now having the Skyliner does give it a little bit of a boost. It's a big resort.
It's very big.
It's got a lot of food. It's got pretty good. I mean, when you talk about food options, you got Sebastian's Bistro, which is we've said for a long time is a little bit of a hidden gem. It's very good.
We love that.
Got a cool pool area.
Banana Cabanas got that amazing bar.
Like it's got a cool pool area. Yeah, it's got a lot of amenities around it that I enjoy. The rooms and stuff, they're very simple. Obviously, like there's just the typical value and moderate rooms.
The Little Mermaid room. They have a room there we haven't stayed at yet, but it's themed to that, and that's newer.
Yeah.
So there's that.
I mean, I would probably put this mid, maybe B.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, given that it's right next to Riviera,
I mean, that is true.
that already puts it up for me. And being right by the Skyliner, also a plus there. It has good food. You know, the pool is great. The rooms are the only thing that's really lacking, and just the fact that it's really spread out.
Well,
so I would put this at B too.
Yeah, and this is where it gets into, obviously, we've got you got moderates and values and deluxes, and they have different, like, how we feel. So some of these will be in their category, how we feel about them.
Yeah.
And now in the moderate category, obviously, it might be the best. I like it better than Coronado.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
As a whole.
Yeah.
So I think B overall is solid. Like, I wouldn't be angry about staying here. You know, and if you have a room close to Riviera, that because we have stayed there before, we go over and get food at Riviera and bring it back. So like that's a nice little perk you can do. So I think B is pretty fair.
Okay,
so.
Let's do B.
All right, what's the next one?
All right, next one we're gonna do Animal Kingdom Lodge, and this includes Jumbo House and Kanani Village, DVC Villas as well. So all of that.
It's been a bit since we've stayed here.
It has,
but these are both. I mean, Animal Kingdom Lodge itself is a great hotel. Very unique.
Beautiful.
Like you can see the animals.
Huge lobby.
Good food.
I will say it's one of those hotels that's really cool to do a staycation at because they have a lot of activities. You can do so much the safari. They have that Starlight Safari you can do at night. See the animals. Constantly look at the savannas out there. I mean, it's a great hotel. It really is.
The downside to it is, depending where your room is, and it's got that horseshoe shape, you can walk a very long way to your room.
Those are the two downfalls. It's long. It's like hard to get to your room if you're at the very end, and then it's just farthest away from.
It is farthest away from everything else. Yeah. But yeah, if you're doing a staycation, night. I mean, the hotel itself, I think it's an A.
I mean, I would give it an A. It's.
I mean, it does have
wonderful.
And
the
like
food
you said,
is amazing.
The food's amazing. It does have good. You know, there's a lot of activities to do. The pool areas out there are really nice as well.
Yeah.
So you got both those at Kidani and at Jumbo.
I mean, I would like to stay here again because it's been 9 years.
It's before we had kids.
Before we had kids.
So.
Yep. So
and I know
would
our
love
kids
to stay
would.
Here again.
I'm sure they would love the animals.
Oh yeah.
And stuff like that.
We'll have to stay there again.
And the lobby is that grand type lobby. Yeah. The high ceilings and everything like that.
Yep.
So
all right. So A for that one.
I think A for that one.
Okay. Right. Next one we're gonna do Art of Animation.
This is a value. For whatever reason, it's not that I don't like Art of Animation. I just don't like it as much. Like, I know a lot of people think Art of Animation is like the best value. I like Pop Century more than Art of Animation, but Art of Animation does have really cool stuff. Like, it's got the Cars area, which our son enjoys, and like it's got I think it does have better theming than the other values.
Here's my problem with Art of Animation. It doesn't really fit into a value category, and it doesn't really fit into moderate.
Yeah.
Like, it's in the in-between here. What's that called? And then in between and start Stranger Things, or what do they call it?
I think it's just called the Upside Down.
Upside Down. It's in the Upside Down.
Oh,
That's where it is.
okay.
So, I would give this, I put Art of Animation at probably, just because of the price of the suites, kind of offsetting it. But it's on the Skyliner, though.
It does help being on the Skyliner.
And the theming is so good. Ooh. I would stick this. I probably put B or C. I don't think, it's definitely not an A for me.
Yeah, I was thinking somewhere in that range. I mean,
I'd probably stick it at B because as far as a value goes,
it does have a cool pool area.
It does have a pool, yeah. Okay, I'll do B. I'll do B for Art of Animation. For what it is, for what it's presenting, yeah, I'll give it a B.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with putting it there. And honestly,
Yeah.
one of the reasons I don't like it, it just comes down to like a vibe and feel. There's nothing about like I just don't prefer it.
Yeah.
Over the other ones. I don't know.
Absolutely.
It's just an interesting thing there. But yeah, okay, we'll
Yeah.
put it B.
Okay.
All right, what's the next one?
The next one, we're gonna do Yacht Club.
Yacht Club.
This is one of the hotels that Jared has not stayed in.
I haven't. I've been over there a
He's
lot.
been over there.
Yeah. I mean, Yacht and Beach Club, you could almost put those two together.
You can, but they are different. They are different. Yacht Club has obviously it's a nautical theme. It's a little more, they say it's a little more stuffy on the stuffy side. But the rooms are cute, and they are doing a renovation for those starting in January, I believe.
Okay.
So they are going under refurbishment. Being as how it's on the Crescent Lake Hotel section right by Epcot gives it a boost there. It's got the pool that shares, with Beach Club, with Stormalong Bay.
I feel like Yacht and Beach Club just with the pool area itself almost puts it directly.
Do you want to put these together?
I mean, I don't know if there's anything that differentiates the two.
Well, Beach Club has DVC.
Right.
And the theming is different. Everything.
I mean,
else
it is different, but they're very similar. I mean, in my mind, we've stayed at Beach Club.
Yes.
And I really, really like Beach Club a lot.
Yes.
Now, I enjoy Yacht Club. I haven't just actually stayed in a room there, but obviously they're right next to each other.
Yeah.
I mean, in my mind, I think I would put these two together, but it's whatever.
We can put them together. That's fine.
I think given the pool area, all the aesthetics near it, you're right next to the boardwalk. You're right next to Epcot. I mean, it probably falls into, at the very least, I would say A.
Yep. I would put this at an A.
Like it's a solid, it's great in the evenings. The pool area alone almost pushes it like S because it's the best pool on property.
Oh, Jared, you're making me think.
It is by far the best pool on property.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, yeah, location, the food it offers, the aesthetic. Yeah. S. I think it's an S.
I mean,
it's hard.
Beach Club is always, ever since we stayed there, it floats into my top 3, top 4.
Yeah.
I mean, I really enjoy it.
Okay. Let's just do
Plus,
S.
you got the Skyliner access because you're right near Boardwalk.
Yeah. Okay. S it is. And
I think, the more you break it down.
We did both those at the same time. They're both an S.
I feel like they both, yeah.
Okay.
I feel like that's fair.
Fair enough. Okay. Next one, All-Star Sports.
Oh, the All-Stars.
Can I go first with this one?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Well, first of all, I'm not sure I'm going to put anything at F. I don't think I have anything at F. I think I just have all the way to D.
I was going to say, this will probably be pretty top-heavy with a lot of this is because,
yeah,
I can see that.
I don't have any Fs. This one for me is a D. If I choose to stay in an All-Star, sports is going to be my last one I choose.
I was going to say, out of all the All-Stars, it's the lowest for sure.
Yeah. So the things working against All-Star Sports is the theming. I'm just like, okay, sports, great. Secondly is that, along with some of the other values and some moderates, you have a lot of groups staying there, cheer groups, sports groups, and that can be kind of crazy.
But the plus, you have it's a lower price.
You also have it is lower price, which is a plus. Just the bus transportation, but just like the theming doesn't grab me. So that's part of the reason why I would put this.
Well,
Indeed.
and again, what goes against them for me is I don't like exterior facing rooms.
Same,
So that brings it down. And agreed. It's not like I would put it in the F category, but staying at, basic. And I don't like getting in and out of the All-Stars is, we typically drive now. It's a pain because you got one thing and then it's just,
you have one gate.
You have one gate
for all three, which is
and
so
sometimes if there's a lot of people, and obviously the values have a lot more people staying there, sometimes that gate gets way backed up or somebody doesn't know what they're doing. Like it could take a bit to get in there.
Yep.
So yeah, I would say D's fair. I wouldn't choose to stay here as my first option probably ever.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to Port Orleans French Quarter.
We stayed here recently. I enjoy. It's nice. It's quaint. It's very small.
Mm-hmm. I got those Mickey beignets.
Yeah, it's a unique one. Like the lobby, it's very small. It's a very small resort. Got the waterway near there.
The pool area is pretty cool.
We didn't get to do the pool when I was there because it was closed.
Right. So I've
But
stayed
in
there
general,
before.
yeah.
And I did get to see the pool. But I like the pool area and I like the build, like the hotel buildings.
Mm-hmm.
I love the theming of it. I mean, it seems very authentic. Wrought iron buildings.
Yeah. Getting in and out of there is not, but it's not a bad location either.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's at. I mean, I would probably,
close.
it's moderate level. Like, the only thing I would say is the price you normally pay here. Values versus moderates comes down to like, is a little additional theming you get out of a moderate worth the price more you pay? And I said, when we did our review of this, I don't know if it's worth it. It depends on how much you value that and if you plan on staying, like if you're doing a staycation and things like that. So for me, I like it, but I almost put it like C.
So I chose C too, and the reason is because yes, you can just go over to Riverside if you want to do like a table service meal, but French Quarter doesn't have one.
Right.
Yeah, they do have Scat Cats Club and the Scat Cats Lounge, which is cool.
But there's only so many beignets you can eat.
And again, the theming is cool, and you do have boat access to Disney Springs, which is nice too.
Mm-hmm.
But for us, it's not a hotel I think of staying at too often, and that may just be just because I'm not thinking about it. So that's kind of a dash against it, at least for me.
Yeah.
Now visiting to go get beignets, no problem. I'll go over there. I'll get some beignets.
Yeah.
But staying over there, I don't know. I don't know if yeah, I'll put it at C.
I agree. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. What's the next one?
The next one is Old Key West.
This is the DVC.
DVC, first DVC resort.
I like Old Key West.
Mm-hmm.
You get a lot of room. Now, the resort itself is a little interesting because it was not built for buses to go in there. So the bus transportation, like I would not want to be a bus driver going through here. So
No.
rating it as a bus driver would be different than staying here. But you typically have, like when we stayed here, the rooms are pretty big.
Big rooms,
The first DVC hotel that was built.
Yeah.
For me, I'd probably put it at like B. I feel like if you're gonna rent points, it's one of the lower price ones you can do.
Yeah.
You have a lot of room. Like if you're gonna have a family coming in, like you don't. I guess the downside could be you got those stairs if you got an upper
stairs.
room, but or the resort's big. I guess
it's
could
big.
be a downside to it, but for me, I would say B. I enjoyed our stay there when we stayed.
Okay.
But if you
I
put it
would
at C, like I'm
say-
kind of between that B and C area.
I like Old Key West. But I would put it at C for me. Just because of it's a more spread out resort. So if you don't have a car, it can be you have to rely on the buses. It's harder to get around. Like
Definitely
Jen said.
depends on if you got a car or not.
Yep. Olivia's, the restaurant that we've had it before. I've heard from more than one person that it's not as good as it used to be, which oh no. The pool is nothing spectacular. It does have boat access to Disney Spring, which is nice. It's more affordable for renting points, like you said, and if you just wanted to do a cash.
And that's the thing.
stay.
If you look at, if I was going to spend more money versus staying like at Port Orleans, I would probably just rather spend a little bit more, maybe, or even around the same price, and stay at Old Key West.
Yeah. I don't know. I think for me, I would probably stick with C.
I'm okay with putting it at C.
Yeah.
But I think I would.
Stick with C.
Like, my caveat would be I would still choose it over Port Orleans
Okay. Okay.
for me personally.
Okay. All right. Next one, we're gonna do All-Star movies.
I feel like out of all the All Stars is probably the better one.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I probably would still stick it in D. I feel like I put all the All Stars in D.
Okay. Do you just want to go ahead and do that?
I think so.
they're
Just
all
because
the
I don't
same.
think. I mean, the theming is better at
Yeah.
music and movies, but at the
Yeah.
same time, they're all very similar.
Well, the only thing that's different about All-Star Music is they have the family suites. So they do accommodate a bigger party if
True.
you need to use those. And we never stayed there we stayed at all of them, but we just never stayed in the family suites. So that does have a little asterisk right there that is a little bit different.
I mean, we could put music at C.
Yeah, but
For
like
that reason,
I don't know. I don't think if it's enough to be like
Right. I just kind of view them all the same. I
Yeah.
mean, obviously, like
Okay.
some of the theming is different, but
right. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll just leave it like that. Okay, next one we will do the Contemporary in Bay Lake Tower.
the airport.
The airport.
Uh,
The airport of theme parks.
So this hotel to me is, I've never been a big fan of it. It's very much, again, it reminds me of an airport inside. It does have good food. Like Steakhouse 71, you got
Yes.
California Grill.
Yes.
The quick service options are pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
The main selling point on this hotel / resort is the location, as it's walking distance to Magic Kingdom.
Absolutely.
But the hotel, how much are we weighing? Because that's the thing. It's like if you're weighing the distance between Magic Kingdom, it obviously moves up on the list because you got theme park views and things like that. For the hotel itself, I don't have much desire to, like, we've stayed here, we've rented points and stayed here before. I feel like the rooms were very dated when we were in them.
So, yeah, they are going to refurb them starting in September.
Right. And now they have the Incredibles rooms on the just the regular side.
They do know that they need a refurb.
Yeah.
So at least there's that. You're right. It does need a refurb. So, obviously we can't speak to what it'll look like in the future. The only thing I'll say is that it's the coolest thing to see the monorail go through the hotel.
It's a cool thing
That's
to see.
such a cool feature. None of the other ones do that. I mean, yes, they go through the stop that's like on the side of Grand Floridian and Poly, but this one goes through the building.
It is
so
cool.
that right there is just like a really cool feature. The location to Magic Kingdom, obviously, like you said, another cool feature. The theming though of the actual hotel is just there's none. It's just, again, you said airport.
Yeah.
It's just,
This is,
I
I'll
don't
put it this
know.
way.
Like,
This
it's
is a
just my
resort
thing.
I would much rather visit than stay in.
Yeah. Fair.
So I feel like maybe when it comes down
Except
to
for the location though, like
the
Magic
location's
Kingdom.
nice, but at the same, but it's like, is it worth the price you're going to pay for that location as well?
It was when we stayed there for the 50th anniversary.
It was. I'm not saying it's not
telling you.
nice. I'm just saying
Yeah.
it comes down to the price. So for me, I would probably go B or C.
So I was going to put it at B because it has a few things that really put
I mean, the
it-
food is a strong point.
Yeah.
Steakhouse
so
71 alone, and we're
Gosh,
talking
I
like a
love
quick
Steakhouse.
service.
California Grill.
Yeah.
I put it at B.
I'm good with B.
I put it at B. It's definitely not S.
No, I don't.
A is iffy.
I
So,
wouldn't put it at A personally. The food I would put at A, but a lot of stuff about it I don't
Yeah.
quite enjoy. All right, what's the next one?
Let's do Fort Wilderness.
Fort Wilderness. This one's interesting.
Cabins and campgrounds. And that does include the new cabins that are opening this
Yeah,
year.
we stayed at the cabins back when they were the older cabins.
There's still some old cabins left.
Yeah.
So,
We haven't camped here. I think it's a very unique, whatever you want to call it. It's, not really, it's I guess, a resort hotel campground area. The price is very nice if you're camping.
yeah.
I do enjoy the cabins. I would say for the uniqueness of it, and if you're staying around like say Christmas or Halloween, that adds they'd have the parades that the people that are staying in do with the
there's so
golf
much to
carts.
do.
Now I will say if you don't have a golf cart, transportation can be a bit of an issue here
Yeah.
because you got to wait on buses for internal transportation.
There's so much to do.
There's a lot to do. I don't know. For me, at a uniqueness and the things you can do, it's like A or B for me.
Okay. So I don't think I could put this at A. Only because I'm not an outdoorsy girl.
Well, I was only thinking given it depends on how you feel about camping, but it's like there's so many things to do, and there's nothing else like it on property. But
I know you're so right about that. Oh, Jared. I mean, we can, if you want to put it at A, we can put it at A.
We can put it at B for now.
Okay.
And then see where we feel about it, like here in a few turns.
Okay. All right. We can leave it at B, and then we can adjust
Okay.
if we need to. Okay.
All right. What's the next one?
The next one is let's do Saratoga Springs.
Saratoga Springs, very close to Disney Springs, moderate.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing like it's very much of a conference type hotel. The way I kind of feel about it.
It's like golf.
Yeah,
It's like golf.
I don't. I'll put it this way: we've stayed here once. Now we did get an upgraded room when we stayed here, which was nice. We got to stay in a
Two bedroom,
bedroom, which was overkill for us, but it was nice.
Yeah.
And in the refurbed room, which it was nice, walking distance to Disney Springs, but I've never had the urge to really want to stay here again.
Yeah, this one's a skippable for me. This is a C. Proximity to Disney Springs, be able to walk there is nice. The rooms being refurbed are nice. The theming is not really, I'm like okay with it, I guess. But there's really nothing about this hotel that stands out for me.
I will say, now, not many people may know this, but it does have a nice gym. I will give it that.
Great.
It has it's big and actually is like the best gym out of the Disney hotels.
Okay.
I will give it that. So for me, now is that enough to really push it up? Like if I'm staying for a week, maybe, but given that we usually stay for a couple of nights, like, okay, but I will say it does have that. But the theming itself and the resort itself, yeah, I'm good with C because it kind of just sits there.
All right. Boardwalk.
I love the boardwalk.
Boardwalk is a S for me.
Yeah, location. And Boardwalk's that thing, we've stayed here a few times, but like as a kid, I always wanted to stay at Boardwalk. I remember just seeing Boardwalk. We went when I was in 8th grade, and I was like, oh, man, as if I could stay there. Because we stayed at like Motel 6s. Like we didn't stay at like nice places.
Anytime we stayed there, we just had the best time. And like being right there by Epcot, and you're the closest to Epcot and the closest to Hollywood Studios than like the other hotels.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like in the middle. They've got the clubs, the Atlantic City Dance Hall. They've got Jelly Rolls. They've got all of those restaurants that sit on the boardwalk area. You've got the Streetmosphere. They are being renovated right now, so they look beautiful. Brand new renovation. It's not too spread out.
Yeah.
I don't know, like location alone and just the vibes. And the Cake Bake Shop's opening hopefully soon. So it's got a lot going for it. And, we've stayed here. I don't know how many times we've stayed here. I've stayed here more than you have just because my parents used to own DVC here. So it has a little bit of my heart, if you will. But yeah, S is easy for me. S.
Yeah, I'm good with S. I really like it a lot. Yeah. Obviously. Yep. Okay.
Port Orleans, Riverside.
I like Port Orleans Riverside a lot, but I think it falls into the same thing as Port Orleans, where is it worth the extra price you pay? I think that's the thing with all the moderates in my mind, is like you've got that gap between like you got the value, like obviously the value to deluxes is a big jump. Then the values to like moderates, like the rooms are basically the same. It's mostly just small amenity theming things. I really like Riverside, but I don't know. I think it's the same thing as Port Orleans. I don't know if it's enough to really do much for me, so I would probably go C.
So I would choose B for this one for a few reasons. I like the Magnolia section. It has those big white columns. I like the Royal Princess rooms. Mm-hmm. I think those are adorable. Boat rides is okay. We had an okay meal there, but I did
care for boat rides personally.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Well, they do have Yeehaw Bob.
That's true,
which is really fun.
They do have that.
And again, transportation to Disney Springs. You can if you want to go to get Mickey beignets, we can just walk over to French Quarter. For me, usually not going to say all the time, but usually the price for this is not that much more than Pop Century.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to choose a moderate and I want to go to Disney Springs a lot or something, that's my trip, I would choose Riverside. So for me, I always stick it at B.
I mean, I'm not against putting it there. I mean, I do like it. I do like it more than I do like Port Orleans French Quarter. I do like it more than that.
Yeah.
Because it reminded me of parts of like Augusta. I mean, okay. I'm not against. I mean, you made some good points.
Thank you.
I still don't know if I would. I would much rather, if I'm going to spend that much more money over a value, I would almost rather like say rent points and do something along those lines. But okay,
I don't know. I would say B.
We can do B.
Okay. Thank you. Well, since we were just talking about it, let's go ahead and do Pop Century.
Pop Century. It's my favorite value.
Mm-hmm.
So I think automatically I would put it at C to start at least.
Okay.
Good pricing, Skyliner access, pool's nice, food's pretty good. We've stayed there a bunch; it's pretty solid. But I feel like C's a good spot for it. I mean, it's a good staple. You can always stay there. You don't mind it. It's solid.
I mean, we stay here a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We stay here a lot, and
well, C is technically skippable, isn't it?
it is. I would put it at B.
Yeah.
I would put Pop Century at B.
Yeah.
It's a go-to. You know what I mean? It's a go-to hotel because you've got the Skyliner Resort access. It's a value, so the price is lower than you're gonna have with other ones, and like especially if you if you got kids and you want to do the pool, that's fine. The pools are great. I like the theming. I like the 80s and 90s section.
Yeah, I like that.
I like the theming. Yeah, I mean, it's just those reasons right there. And I feel like the Skyliner access and the price is like those biggest two factors right there. And put those together, and it at least goes to a B for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's my favorite value. Yeah, as soon as I said that, I was like, well, B makes more sense because C is skippable, which I don't think it's a skippable. So, okay.
Yeah.
All right, fine. All right, what's the next one? Getting down to the good ones.
I know. I'm going to save some of the big ones for later. Let's do Coronado Springs.
Probably my least favorite moderate.
So this one's hard because Grand Destino Tower is nice.
See, that's the thing too. It's like they're two different hotels in my mind.
It feels like
the
two different
tower
hotels.
is like a deluxe light.
I know.
And then you have the rest. So I think if you're staying in the tower, you have a way different experience versus staying just at the regular side of things.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll just judge it. If I guess there's a way we can do it. If you're talking tower, I think the tower would probably put it at like B.
Okay.
Because the tower is nice.
So if we're just talking about the tower, I would put it in A. If we're just referring to the tower, I would do A.
Okay.
If you're talking about the actual resort itself, C.
At least.
Yeah.
I don't care for the
location.
The location of it, I don't really care for.
I don't like the theming either.
It only has bus transportation.
Three Bridges is good though, and that's not part of the tower.
It does have good food around it.
Yeah.
It does have that. And it's got some cool little views, but again, it is also now one of the pluses to it. It is a convention hotel, so it does have a little bit more like the gym and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I don't really have any desire to stay here. I mean, if you're in the,
I want to stay in the tower. But
if you're in the tower, you've got like club level. Like again,
Yeah.
tower is much more of a deluxe experience versus
Yeah.
the regular. But I think overall, I think C. Yeah, it's just
If we're taking the tower out, it would be a C. Absolutely.
yeah.
So Grand Destino though, an A.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
If
Okay.
we could do that, that would be great. Okay. Next one, Grand Floridian.
Well, I haven't stayed here
Yet.
I mean, probably would go into A. It's got a lot of night. Obviously, it's the location's solid. You're on the monorail loop. It's got food. It's very fancy.
It's very fancy.
You've got the bars and lounges in the area. A lot. The pool area is nice.
Flagship hotel.
Yeah. Full House was filmed there.
I mean,
Uncle Jesse stayed there.
I feel like it'd have to go into A. Like it just does, like just by default. Like even though we haven't stayed there, it's my last hotel I haven't stayed at. Even though we haven't stayed there, I feel like it's definitely gonna go in A.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Okay. We have 3 more left.
I wonder where they're gonna go.
I don't know. Let's go ahead and do Riviera.
I love Riviera.
This is an S for me.
Yeah, same. I mean, we're staying here again
September.
in September. I love it.
It's beautiful. We've stayed
shout
there.
out to other Jared.
Yeah, we've stayed here twice already, and yeah, it's definitely our favorite DVC.
It's just such a it's beautiful.
So pretty.
The rooms are super nice.
I love the music that plays at the resort. The pool is pretty. The kids area is awesome.
I mean, Topolino's is the best food.
Oh my
the
gosh.
best table service, I think.
Yeah.
One of quick service. I've said this before. The quick service there. What's it called again? Primo Piazza. I have never had a bad item here.
Yep. Never.
I think we've tried almost everything, and it's pretty. I mean, again, you're dealing with Disney pricing, but the prices aren't terrible. Some of the best tomato soup I've ever had. Like it is. I haven't had a bad meal there. You got the Bar Riva right there.
Yeah, and it's small. It's not spread out. It's compact, and it's like a tower layout, which Disney is doing a lot of those these days.
Yeah.
So, but I don't mind that. Like, it doesn't bother me, I guess. But having their own Skyliner station is really good too. So, I mean, yeah, this is an S.
I love it. Yeah.
Hands down.
I would stay here anytime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wilderness Lodge, Boulder Ridge, Copper Creek.
Again, I love this hotel. Now, if you're talking around Christmas time, it's an immediate S.
Oh, immediately.
I guess the question comes to, is it an S year round?
Yes.
I kind of think, well, okay. I was trying to build suspense.
Sorry.
I was trying to build a little suspense to
Sorry
this,
about
but I agree. It is. I love it. We say. I mean, you've got the lobby itself is awesome. Location's good.
The food.
The pool
the
area.
Spring Canyon.
I love the pool area at night here.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's such a cool little thing. Like we stayed here last summer, and my brother and his family came in, and we kind of swam at night. Like a lot of fun. Walking around, it's gorgeous to walk around there.
Geyser Point. Oh, and Wilderness Lodge just celebrated its 30th anniversary.
Yeah.
Or it is celebrating its 30th anniversary.
And Geyser Point is a great place.
So good. And the geyser does go off.
It does. That's true.
Yeah. Transportation to Magic Kingdom from the boats. That's great too. Has 2 different DVC properties, so 2 more opportunities to stay there.
True.
And then obviously Christmas time. And I have so much video of our children as they've grown running over back and forth at a little bridge in the lobby.
They love that bridge.
Like I just treasure just memories and the fireplace and the rocking chairs.
Yeah, I mean, again,
I'm just reminiscing.
It's a great spot just to I mean, a staycation place would be great for us.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's easy S tier for sure.
Just great location. Yeah. Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Agreed.
All right, the last one. Not going to leave you hanging. Polynesian Village.
I mean, if you listen to the show for a long time, we know we hate this resort so much. And by hate, I mean we
love it so much.
We do like it a lot. It's been. I mean, this is a first. No, when the first deluxe I stayed at, but
Animal Kingdom was the first.
Animal Kingdom was, but no, I love Poly. It's an easy S. It's been my favorite resort for a long time.
Let's just name off the reasons here. Monorail, close to Magic Kingdom, the food,
pool area,
we already said food, but like they have their own Dole Whip place.
True.
Boat transportation,
the aesthetics at night with like the fire, the tiki torches around it.
But they have boat access. You can walk to TTC. You can take the walkway just all the way around to Magic Kingdom if you want. Monorail access. I mean, like many different ways to get places. I
mean, the lounges, the pool. Like you got Trader Sam's. You've got the
lobby.
The what's the bar next to
the 70s stonework on the ground?
True. I always forget the name of it. What's the bar next to Ohana's?
Tambu
Lounge.
Love Tambu.
You can order stuff that like you can get pot stickers or bread pudding and stuff from Ohana there.
I love that.
It's I guess the only downside would be there's not a lot of room in all of those places necessarily because it gets crowded. But and they do have a pineapple beer there that is delicious.
Okay.
It's a pineapple wheat beer. But yeah, I love it. I love Polynesian. It's been my favorite for a long time.
Well, the Island Tower is opening December, so there'll be more places to stay, not just studios and bungalows.
It's true. And the rooms are very spacious. You kind of have
Yeah.
like little extra. They've got that.
They're huge.
They're very big. They've got that like, I guess it's just a little bath. We used it for our daughter, especially like put a pack and play.
The
in
shower
there.
room.
Yeah, I just put her in
Yeah.
there, so it's almost like a extra bedroom kind of.
Yeah. The balconies. Yeah. It's just
Yeah.
SSS all the way.
Yes. Agreed. So,
So
all right. Well, that's our tier list.
let's go back through and see what we got. Let's go from the bottom.
Yep. So in the D category, we just have the all-star hotels.
F, we got nobody's F.
Nobody. We didn't put anything in F.
No.
So
All stars are D, sorry.
all stars in the C category, which is skippable. We did Port Orleans, French Quarter, Old Key West, Saratoga Springs, and Coronado Springs. If you're talking about just generally the hotel. B category, we did Caribbean Beach, Art of Animation, Contemporary, Fort Wilderness, Port Orleans, Riverside, and Pop Century. A, we did Animal Kingdom Lodge and Grand Floridian. And the S tier did Yacht and Beach Club, Boardwalk, Riviera, Wilderness Lodge, and Polynesian.
I feel like that's a great list.
I feel it's a pretty good list, yeah. I think we shared our insights, our opinions
I feel like
adequately.
the only place we would get any kind of like disagreements would be involving the moderates.
I mean,
They're
probably.
just hard to
I
place
mean, there's going to be some
sometimes.
people that really like corn. I mean, again, a lot of it just
Yeah.
comes down to preference. But and
Yeah.
we didn't really get into like price on this because obviously you're talking price.
We did discuss it a little
I mean,
bit.
we discussed it, but it's like obviously some of these are way more expensive than others.
Right.
But in terms of like, you can find little pockets. Like on the deluxe side, I mean, Wilderness Lodge is probably one of the lower priced ones that I think is for what it many times priced that I would rather stay there over a lot of the ones that are more expensive.
Yeah.
I would. I think it's a very unique hotel.
Yep.
It's one of the
Same.
only ones when you're there, you can feel like you're not in Orlando.
Right.
Like you're just somewhere else.
I know.
So,
We did great.
all right. Well, yeah, I agree. All right. Well, that's our list. If you don't like it,
You're sticking to
let
it.
us know. And if you're mad about it again, okay. Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's going to do it for the show. Be sure to check us out over on social media at Cap the Magic everywhere except for TikTok. We're at Capture the Magic. Be sure to check out the YouTube channel at Cap the Magic as well. Gonna have some more videos coming out there. Probably Epic Universe construction update soon, and a couple other topical videos. And of course, if you want video versions of the show over on YouTube is at CTM Podcast there. And we have other shows on the network. We have the CTM Universal show, which will be on Monday, and we will talk about DreamWorks Land
Yes.
on that show. As that
And the summer tribute store.
yes, all those things. So we will check out then. Jamie also has Trip Tales, which is her trip report show, and your episode just came out yesterday.
Today. Wednesday.
Well, that's going to be yesterday. For
Yeah, yesterday
ever.
for you guys,
Yes.
today for me.
Yeah. So, and that's her trip report show where people go on trips and they take a lot of notes, and you can get a lot of insight from that, hearing from people firsthand on that. And again, of course, if you want even more content, Club 32, cteamvip.com is where you can go for that. And that'll do it. So thank you, everybody, for listening and or watching. And thank you, Jamie, for joining us.
Thank you.
And as Jamie always likes to say,
We will see you in the parks.
bye.